Don Westfall. I'll be joined by Dan McCarger once we work into the broadcast, but we certainly welcome you to downtown Mankato as we get set up for this battle. Two of the top teams in the WCHA have a few moments right now, so we're actually going to bring in Maverick head coach Mike Hastings just to kind of get his thoughts on the contest this evening. And Coach, obviously your team coming in, you had the loss last weekend against Bemidji State, but a team coming into this weekend's play again ranked 4th in the country, and despite that loss, you guys have been playing some pretty good hockey, and I know obviously given the magnitude of this matchup, it's not too hard to get up for this contest tonight.
No, it isn't, for a couple of reasons. Some you've already brushed over with the rankings and what's on the table for building your book of business for the end of the year at the NCAA tournament, and then you move on into the importance of garnering as many points as you can to put yourself in a position to try and win a league championship and finish as high as you possibly can in the standings for your playoff positioning. And then the third piece is we're back at home. We want to defend our home ice. It's been a building that's been very good to us over the years. It's been good to us this year, and we want to get back out and playing on it because the majority of our games have been on the road, so we want to take advantage of being back in our own buildings. So there is a lot riding on tonight. It's a great opportunity for us to look in the mirror and see where we stand against one of the best teams, not only in our league, but one of the best teams in the country.
Given the fact that after this weekend series you're going to have about a month left, does this to some degree kind of kick off that drive for the playoffs? Certainly the intensity that one would expect is going to be played at kind of a playoff caliber here tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, the one thing, if you followed us for any amount of time, it really doesn't matter when we hook up with Bowling Green, whether it's early in the year, mid-year, or as we're getting now to the last little run here. It seems like there's an intensity level that follows this rivalry, and so I think it's an important time for us just to, continue to try and get back on the right track. Last weekend we only played one game because of the COVID issue with Huntsville and them not being able to get here, so we had to go on the road again and went to Bemidji and get beat, and so we've had a little bit of a reset this week, and now it's an opportunity again to defend our home ice. So important night for us, and looking forward to the opportunity.
All right, that's Mike Hastings. We thank him for his time. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's the opening face-off from downtown Mankato.
Kito Hiroshi, freshman defenseman, Calgary, Alberta.
Jack McNeely, senior defenseman, Lakeville, Minnesota.
Andy Carroll, junior defenseman, Northfield, Minnesota.
Jake Dremko, senior forward, Nowthen, Minnesota.
Sam Morton, junior forward, Denver, Colorado.
Wyatt Ahmet, junior defenseman, Hermantown, Minnesota.
Nathan Smith, sophomore forward, Tampa, Florida.
Tanner Edwards, freshman forward, Anchorage, Alaska.
Shane McMahon, junior forward, Chino, California.
Jared Spooner, senior forward, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Colby Bucas, sophomore defenseman, Denver, Colorado.
Brendan Ferry, sophomore forward, Toledo, Ohio.
Ryan Sandlin, sophomore forward, Hermantown, Minnesota.
Julian Napravnik, junior forward, Bad Nauheim, Germany.
Reggie Lutz, senior forward, Elk River, Minnesota.
Walker Dewar, senior forward, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Andre Pavel, freshman forward, Prague, Czech Republic.
Chris Van Oshaw, junior forward, Regina, Saskatchewan.
Connor Grega, freshman forward, Markham, Ontario.
Lucas Souter, sophomore forward, Tampa, Florida.
Dal Strads, senior forward, Blaine, Minnesota.
Jake Livingstone, freshman defenseman, Creston, British Columbia.
Todd Burgess, senior forward, Peoria, Arizona.
Bruce Mort, senior defenseman, Rochester, Minnesota.
Tony Malinowski, sophomore defenseman, Clarkston, Michigan.
Cade Borchert, sophomore forward, Burnsville, Minnesota.
Dryden McKay, junior goaltender, Downers Grove, Illinois.
Evan Foss, sophomore goaltender, White Bear Lake, Minnesota.
Ryan Edquist, senior goalie, Lakeville, Minnesota.
Don Westfall, Dan McCarger back in downtown Mankato. Friday night WCHA hockey here for you on Flow Hockey TV, and of course a Maverick Hockey Weekend. Maverick head coach Mike Hastings, his team, depending on the poll, ranked 4th or 6th in the country. And Ty Eigner took over for Chris Bergeron a couple years ago at Bowling Green. Falcons coming in with the big sweep last weekend over Michigan Tech. They are ranked 8th in the country. And Dan, those two guys right there, Dryden McKay and there, Eric Dopp. Talking to Coach Hastings before the game, two of the better offensive teams in the country. These guys are going to be tested tonight.
the numbers say low scoring on the defensive side, but high scoring on the offensive side. So it's anybody's guess the way this game goes.
We are glad you're with us. Of course, these two teams in recent years have had some epic battles, certainly in this building, out in Ohio as well, and potentially a precursor to the WCHA playoffs that get underway next month. But again, the first of two this weekend here on a Maverick hockey weekend as the Mavericks with the draw. Hirose sends one into the zone and a quick icing call against Minnesota State.
Dopp has some very good numbers in the nets on the season, 9-3 at 2.09 goals against, 930 save percentage. But then you look at Dryden McKay, he's 9-1 in the year, 0.9 goals against, 954 save percentage, 6 shutouts on the season. Those are absurd numbers for a goaltender.
Lots of honors between these two teams, both nationally, certainly within the WCHA at the weekly and at a monthly level as well. McKay all over those honors as that one sent in and off the skate of Smith. It's blocked. Mavericks with Lutz. Smith catches up to it, carries into the zone. A couple of Falcons there to turn it around. Cullen tries to bring it out of the zone. Still at the line. Lutz will hold the zone for the Mavericks. Theo Chertis on the far side tracks it down. Will Cullen, one of those players with some honors. The defenseman of the month in the WCHA, had 8 points in the month of January for the Falcons. Zmolik up ahead and dumped into the zone now by Brendan Furry. Played over to the far side. Livingstone gets there, plays it behind the net. Walker Dewar for the Mavericks. Dropped into the corner. Carson Musser trying to play it along the boards for the Falcons, but dumped right back in. Musser stands up. Spooner on the play for the Mavericks. Quick shot sent wide of the net. Smolik will try to tap it into the corner. Dewar. Spooner still in there, but played ahead. Cameron Wright. Long lead pass. Connor Ford dumps it off to the far side. Craigs has another shot blocked by the Mavericks. Off the side of the net. Coyle dumps it back in behind the net. Ammett is there for the Mavericks. He's bounced off the puck, brought out in front, and Cameron Wright sends it wide. Justin Wells with the play there that's blocked by Spooner, and now Walker Dewar. He'll just lift one toward the zone as the Mavericks needed to get some fresh skaters out. Barber dumps one into the zone after it takes a hit from Andy Carroll. Along the boards, Coyle and Gerads. Already some decent physical play in the first couple of lines between these two clubs. At center ice, Coyle sends it rink wide. Justin Wells ahead. Jaremko picks things up for the Mavericks. Taylor Schneider, one of 3 Minnesotans on this Bowling Green team. Brandon Cruz, highly heralded player for the Falcons, we'll be talking about a lot this weekend. Theo Chertis dumps it into the corner. Schneider, Sandlin are after it. Now Cruz tied up on the play by Dallas Gerads. Up on top, Sam Morton. He'll play it out, but not clear. Off back behind the net to the far side. Theo Chertis near side for Cullen, who sends one in. That's wide. Seth fighting. Theo Chertis trying to work around Sandlin. Puts one in through some traffic. Never got in on net, however. Sandlin with Morton stepping in for Minnesota State. And now Andy Carroll.
Falcons have attempted a bunch of shots so far, nothing getting through.
Hirose right in front of the penalty box. Kicked ahead. Cade Borchert will bring it in on a backhand. Sent wide on the play by Lloyd defensively. Zmolik. Reggie Lutz, he's tied up and played down behind the net. Scardina gets sandwiched on the play. Along the boards. Collin unable to clear down low. It's there, but the Mavericks couldn't gather up the puck, and it's cleared aside by the Falcons.
Seen a lot of bodies on the ice already down.
Pretty physical early on. Musser along the boards tries to clear, but Spooner steps in for the Mavericks. Now Nathan Smith. Smith, that's off a skate now to center ice. Ammett and McNeely are back defensively for the Mavericks. Chipped into the zone. Spooner will win that race. Takes the hit. But then on a follow-up attempt, Lloyd is there to pick up the puck. Ammett unable to cleanly play it, but the Mavericks will bring it out to center ice with Furry. Now Duer in the slot, looking for some room, puts a shot in that's blocked by Musser out in front. Furry with Max Johnson watching him. Furry play it behind the net for Duer. Looking for an angle right along the goal line. Hirose steps in from the point to play it for Minnesota State. Now Furry. Mavericks able to keep it in the zone. Gerard's with a shot, and that's kicked aside by Dopp. Evan Doherty brings it out to center ice, but turned around by the Mavericks. Jaremko dumps in along the boards. Carroll ahead for Burgess. Jaremko, two guys who didn't see action last week in the single game up at Bemidji. Mavericks losing 4-1 to the Beavers. Smolik back in the lineup tonight as well, along with Lutz. Here comes Wright the other way for the Falcons. Turned around by Jaremko. Centering attempt is blocked. Wright again back to the point. Wells will tee up a shot, and that one's kicked aside. Wright and McKay also cleanse that into the corner. Now Jaremko tied up with Ford. Up on top, Garrett Daly. Wells will dump it right back in. Craigs is after it for Bowling Green, but picked up along the boards by Napravnik, and he'll carry to center ice. Sam Morton. Napravnik trying to play along the boards as well. Morton has it one more time. Behind the net, up on top, and a one-timer, and that one is kicked just wide as McNeely got a good look through some traffic. Ammett plays it off the base of that out in front of Napravnik, but the nice job there by Daly to get down and block that attempt off the boards, and McNeely will come back for the Mavericks. 13.5 left to go here in a scoreless first period. Outside of an early icing, that was the only break we've had so far. Mavericks in the zone. Smith left off now for Borchert. Trying to feed one for Carroll breaking in, but it's picked up defensively and carried out by Cullen. Hirose is back. Also Brandon Cruz for the Falcons up on top. Cullen at the point. Cruz will tee one up. That one is redirected as that was out in front. Lloyd looking for the attempt to actually Alex Barber. Here come the Mavericks the other way. Lutz gets dropped on the play by Theo Charitis. Hirose trying to hold the point, but it's going to be kicked out to center ice, and Smolik will come back for the Mavericks.
7 minutes of playing time without a whistle. Both coaches got to love it. They're getting their teams out there, getting to roll their lines early on.
Smolik into the corner for Hirose. Back to the point, but held through some traffic. That one got sent wide, and then McKay off the back boards just sends it into the corner. Big hit there along the boards is Smith, and that was also Scardina. Now out in front between the benches, and it's played down. No icing on the play. Carson Musser near side along the boards. Ammett turns it around for the Mavericks. Brendan Furry on the near side will bring it in. T1 up, and Dopp sends that one off the arm. Doherty clears, but gets stood up by Ammett on the play. Tapped into the zone nicely by the Mavericks by Shane McMahon in the corner. Furry trying to feed one over for Duer. Now McMahon again. Down low, it kicks a stick and caroms into the corner. Carson Musser will bring it out to center ice with Coyle. Doherty on the near side. Puts in a shot, and Dryden McKay holds on for the faceoff. No score, good action early on here in Mankato, but again, no score from the. Very good look at a few of the fans in the building. Again, we were capped at 150. Don't know exactly what the attendance figure will be here, but Dan, it is good to see some friendly faces back in the building, and actually a lot of Falcon fans here tonight as well.
Yeah, it's a good mix of fans. Got people watching on Flow Hockey TV tonight and joining us on Charter as well. Lisa County has checked in. The Supernauts are watching over in Sioux Falls tonight, so go ahead and feel free to tweet where you're watching the game tonight.
We do like shout-outs. We're glad people are back in the building, but obviously with limited attendance. As here's a chance down low. Craigs, the rebound, as that was Smith who was tying things up with Ford. It's played back in, and McKay has to make a couple of nice saves right off the draw.
Shots are 3-2 nearly midway through the first period already.
But obviously a lot of flow back and forth here between the two clubs, and that's much different than some of the earlier games. Granted, Dan, this is only our 5th game all year here in Mankato.
It's hard to imagine. Bowling Green has played 20 games. The Mavericks playing their 13th game of the season. Big difference.
Big one for the Mavericks. So number 13 means that they've played enough games as that one's played down low and have the Mavericks defensively help out on the play. But getting to 13 games means now you're eligible for the national tournament.
They will have played enough to qualify for the tournament. They've clearly played themselves into the tournament so far, but there's a lot of hockey yet to be played.
Lutz will try to catch up to the play behind the net, but Ford is there first. Craig's along the board. Mavericks in the zone for the first time in a while. Extended, played down to Lutz. Follow-up shot, that one's in on net and kicked out by Dopp. Smith behind the net, out in front trying to feed Hiroshi as we're going to get a penalty coming up. Smith will get dropped on the play, and now with play being stopped with the whistle, looks like it's going to be a holding call. And I'm waiting to see what gate's going to open, and I think they're going to take Cameron Wright on a holding call at 9:25.
He disagrees.
Most do.
Now, he doesn't disagree that he's going to the box, but he disagrees with the call for the hold. Referee's talking it over here. Not exactly certain what they're discussing.
Still, yeah, they're going to maybe pull a Maverick off too.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Officials tonight for the weekend: Robert Lucasen, Brady Johnson. The referees Matt Tyree and Kyle Doman, and they're going to pull off Lutz as well. So both 16s are going to go here at 9:25.
Reggie Lutz also disagrees.
Yes, we know that Wright's off on a hold. Did not see an indication of what the call is going to be against Lutz.
So we're going to skate 4-on-4. Mike Hastings getting an explanation right now.
Pretty even trade there between the two guys. Reggie Lutz tied for 8th in the country, and they'll take a look. Maybe we can pick up the penalty. But Lutz 66 shots on goal among the national leaders there. And of course, Cameron Wright actually is 3rd in the country, same statistic with 89 shots. That's tops in the WCHA. 94 points on the career for Wright, so he would be the next Falcon to hit the century mark in 6 points. But we're 4-on-4. Cross-checking, they're going to catch Lutz on. So again, 4-on-4 for a couple minutes, already about 20 seconds gone for this portion. Taken into the zone. Schneider watched there by Lutz. And
Smolik's going to go for a hold.
You heard the Falcons right away say a holding call, and that's where the call came from. And all of a sudden, now we're going to go 4-on-3 for 1:30. That's what remains in the Quincy Miners to Lutz and Wright.
Patty and Billy Steiner joining us on the broadcast this evening in Lower North Mankato. They're enjoying the broadcast. They wish you well, Don.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Steiners. I need all the help I can get because certainly Dan is not at my aid all the time. You would think after all these years he'd be a true friend of mine, but
you're on your own, sir.
At times, yes. I know where your heart is, though, Dan. Right on the line, it's held. So again, Smolik off on the hold, played down low. To the far side now, Cruz. 4-on-3 again for another 1:12. Theo Chertis fakes the shot, near side forward. That one is off the shoulder.
Took a long time for that to come down.
Cruz in the slot. Watched by Spooner, trying to work around him up on top. Theo Chertis will track it down before it gets over the line. Deep in the slot. That one's blocked by Ammett. Mavericks will keep these 3 penalty killers. Now Spooner's going to get off now for Jaremko along with McNeely and Ammett. And now the Falcons retreat a little bit more because they want some new power play guys out. We're down to 30 seconds left of 4-on-3, and there'll be another 30 seconds still with the man advantage for Bowling Green. Hirose played into the corner. Now Barber will play it out. Will Cullen. Near side, Gavin Gold. Schneider on the far side plays it back up on top of Cullen. They kind of exchange possession, and it's played down, and Dryden McKay is there, and it's cleared down the ice. And that'll bring both Lutz and Wright out of the box. So again, we're still in a power play situation for another 25 seconds with Smolik in the box. Barber behind the net, and now to the far side, Cameron Wright. Cullen at the point, played down low, redirected to the near side. It's played for Gold. Along the board, Schneider to the side of the net. It'll come all the way back to the point. Smolik is up and ready to get back into the action. He's out of the box. Mavericks are back at full strength. Schneider gets stood up on the boards there with McNeely. Smolik on the far side will clear for the Mavericks. Comes all the way down the ice deep enough for the Mavericks to realign who they have on the ice. Scardina weaving through some traffic. Side of the net, and Dryden McKay holds on. He'll take a face-off in the zone. We'll take a break with 7.5 left in Mankato, where we are scoreless. Don Westfall and Dan McCarter back in downtown Mankato looking at a Bowling Green team here. Dan, these are numbers we're used to seeing from the Mavericks in recent years as far as where they sit offensively in the country. Bowling Green leads NCAA in goals with 80 assists, 132 points with 212 shots on goal with 736. Plus-minus ratio of +38 and game-winning goals 60. Now, granted, they played literally almost twice as many games as MSU, but those are some pretty lofty numbers.
No question. But just seeing them, Don, this is a really good hockey team. You know, we've seen them for the first time tonight, but this is the best team that we've seen so far this season. They're giving the Mavericks everything that they could look for and hope for here early on.
Big hit right at the line. A couple of Mavericks, Gerads, and I think Borchert were in there along with Musser. Seeing a hit like that as Dappa hold on for save. When we were talking to Mike Hastings before the game, Dan, he basically said these two teams were on a collision course last year for the WCHA championship before things got derailed a couple weeks prior to that. But seeing that big hit, that's reminds me of the collision that Coach Hastings was talking about. Both these teams were certainly destined, we had felt, to appear in another WCHA championship game.
Well, every reason to believe that late in the season these two teams are going to be the teams that are battling it out for first place, and right now the Mavericks have a 2-point lead going in. Shots are 8-5 in favor of the Falcons. 8 shots in the first period. When's the last time the Mavericks allowed 8 shots in the first period of a game?
Sandlin tries to get a shot off, but he's jostled with by Doherty on the play. Another shot in that's blocked by Wells. I don't know what that puck hit to stay, basically go right up in the air, because it looked like Wells was going to play one off the glass. Rink wide for Daly, dumped into the corner. Behind the net now, Ammett is there. Napravnik and the Mavericks will get out to center ice with Sandlin, who gets to the red line and dumps it in. Daly and Morton after it. Picked up by Doherty, and he'll carry it out to center ice. Hirose turns it around for the Mavericks. Doer. Spooner behind the net. All the way back up to the point. Hirose will try to hold. Doherty gets there, however, and clears. McNeely. Furry on the near side for the Mavericks. Doer. Drop. Hirose sends one down low, and Furry was just looking for a screen in front of Dopp. But the pass or the shot got blocked. Here comes Doer the other way. Right on top of the face-off dot, and that one is cleared.
Boy, just not a lot of open ice. You get the puck and somebody's on top of you either way right away.
Livingstone near side for Smolik. Lead pass Burgess in the slot. Far side left off for Gerads. Drads over skates the puck, and in the corner, Livingstone is there for Minnesota State. Burgess out in front. Here comes Jaremko with a really good look, and Dopp has the kick save. Best look for the Mavericks all night. Lifted out to center ice by Minnesota State. Jaremko trying to help it along. Nathan Smith. Mavericks are trying to regroup and complete a line change. 4:50 left to go here in the first. It's still scoreless. Borchard can't tap it into the zone, sent back out, and Wyatt Ammett is back for Minnesota State. Ammett being tied up by Cruz out in front, and a really big save there by McKay on the turnover as that was down deep in the slot area. Barber had a good look. Borchard, he gets tripped up on the play by Lloyd. Sent out of the zone, Barber. He and Ammett go back after it. Now Carroll for the Mavericks. Center ice and turned around by Wells. Ammett, and then it's ahead for Napravnik, who chips it into the zone. Wells is back, spun along the boards. And that was Morton over there. And we're going to have a stoppage of play as the puck is out of the rink. And we'll take a break here late in the scoreless first period. Dryden McKay.
Been busy.
Our co-goalie of the month as far as the HCA, WCHA goalie of the month. Also this week, one of 6 guys on the ice tonight, Dan, who 6 of 50 on the ice as far as Hobie Baker early candidates. And also the Richter Award, both Dopp and Dryden McKay early contenders for that, as that one's played down in on net. McKay has to make a couple nice saves. Clearly, Dan, of our 4 or 5 games now, the busiest we've seen Dryden McKay.
By far. I mean, there's been a couple games where this is an entire game worth of saves. Just made another brilliant save there.
Mavericks with Spooner. He and Furry into the zone. Quick shot there, and that one got past the glove of Dopp all the way out to center ice.
A lot of people checking in. Don will get a chance sometime here, and we'll mention some of the fans who are watching and where they're watching tonight.
You mentioned Thursby. If it's Michael Thursby, I think he's the director of the Maverick Machine, and they're missed. We'd love to have you in the building, but glad you're checking in via Dan's Twitter. Jaremko turns one around and sends one in on net. Played out to center ice past Smolik. Craigs is after it along with Livingstone. Smolik and Ford behind the net. Jaremko puts it right back into the corner. Far side Burgess will pick things up for the Mavericks. Burgess at center ice, and it's lifted in. The Mavericks will retreat for some fresh skaters with 2.5 left to go in the first.
Boy, what a crisply played first period of hockey. Up and down action, a lot of line changes, not a lot of stoppages, a lot of physical hockey, a lot of bodies on the ice.
Smith trying to feed Borchard, but it was broken up on a centering attempt. Near side for Barber, and then he's dropped by Ammett on the play. Pass ahead for Borchard. He'll spin one around and send it in. Dopp is there to hold it up. To the corner, Borchard. Lutz trying to feed one out for Smith in front, but he was tied up. Lutz. Hiroshi puts one up high. That'll go off the glass. Smith for Carroll. Carroll's looking for an angle, puts one down low, and that's armed out by Dopp. Napravnik in the slot on a backhand, trying to find some room, brings it to the forehand side and right into the body of Dopp, who covers up before Borchard could look at a rebound.
Mark is checked in, Jessica Kirchner, Scott Erickson, Big Bag of Knuckles, Kurt Cleaver, Paul Hansen all checking in. Watching the game tonight on Flow Hockey TV and Charter Hockey tonight for Maverick Hockey Weekend. Glad they're all with us tonight.
Well, them and probably a few fans around the country because, again, obviously 2 nationally ranked teams, a marquee game. Everyone remembers the championship contest a few years ago. Mavericks won in overtime. So, again, decent history, good rivalry here, and certainly two of the better teams in the country and top two in the WCHA.
Mavericks 8-5 on the home ice against Bowling Green over the last number of years, which is a pretty good showing by Bowling Green on this ice.
Indeed, yeah, not many teams have had that much success here in Mankato. As Zamolik will come back, gets tied up, and that's an offside on the play, and maybe even a penalty because, yeah, they're going to get Doherty because
with the
hooking call, he had tied up Zamolik, who was there to make the play, and Doherty doesn't even know
no,
it. But
he's going to the bench.
He's going to go off with the Mavericks to get their first power play of the night.
Yeah, Doherty can't believe it. He's surprised, but it's a good call.
Doherty is off at 18:53. Mavericks, top-ranked power play unit in the country, will get their first chance tonight against a penalty kill unit for Bowling Green. It's kind of around the midway point in national standings. They've killed off about 80.5% of the attempts, and the Mavericks 30.4 conversion with 14 goals and 46 chances.
Well, it'd be great to get one late here in the first period.
Smith. Borchard Smith one more time. Hiroshi far side Lutz, they tried to tee him up for his shot, and that one was blocked. Smith now in the slot up high. Mavericks will regroup. Out in front, Morton didn't really have a lot of room to think about a shot, so he just plays one out to Smith one more time through a lot of traffic. Smith, I actually think, Dan, the pass was intended for Lutz. I think you're right. And then Morton in the slot area picked it up.
We could see the angle from here, just didn't go through. Now, this is a really good road period for the Falcons. It'd be awesome for the Mavericks to get a goal here real late and put a little sting as they go into the locker room.
One last rush as Napravnik brings it into the zone, but then he's knocked off the puck, sent down, and that will probably do it here for the first period of play. Pretty even period between the two teams. Right now, the Falcons out shooting the Mavericks 11-8. And the Mavericks with a long shot by Napravnik. The save is made by Dopp. And we are at the end of the first period of play. So the Mavericks with that last shot still trail 11-9 in that statistic. And the Mavericks will carry over 53 seconds of power play time into the second to start things off again. Doherty went off a few moments ago on a hooking call. Both teams with one power play opportunity. Neither have been successful at this point. And that's why we are 0-0, no score here from downtown Mankato after the first period of play on a Maverick Hockey Weekend and Flow Hockey TV. Back in downtown Mankato, the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center, Don Westfall, Dan McCarger. We're scoreless after one period of play, just getting set for our second period. No score, shots on goal, 11-10 in favor of the Falcons in the final tally after the first 20 minutes. And, you know, Dan, your question to Coach Hastings before the game, with two teams, granted, they've played twice as many games, but kind of just what separates these two teams, what the difference is, and really, he said they mirror image. The biggest difference is the fact the Mavericks primarily go with Dryden McKay in goal, where Bowling Green is a little bit of a Friday, Saturday night split. Tonight we get Eric Dopp. Tomorrow Zach Rose. Both guys, great numbers. Both guys up for that Richter Award. But yeah, mirror image, as you said.
And I've been impressed with Bowling Green. This is our first look at them, obviously, this year. And they can skate. They can hit. They're playing good defense. They've got a number of lines that can score, as we've seen. They've got a couple lines that have 200 points. Which there's not a whole lot of schools that can say that. This is a good hockey team, not surprisingly, coming in with the record that they've got on the season and looking to possibly take over first place in the conference with a win tonight.
We asked Coach for his kind of keys to the contest. He said the first goal, well, we're still waiting on that one, but whatever team has to play from behind. Second key, whichever goalie is better. So far, both have seen some decent shots and decent looks, and they've stood up to the task. And number 3, special teams, and both teams right there. Well, Mavericks still have about half of their first power play yet to go. Bowling Green on a 4-on-3 situation for 90 seconds. Didn't take advantage, but easily two teams that not only here vying for a regular season title, but again, one would have to expect neither one of us would be surprised to see them face off at some point, probably in the championship. Just the way the standings are going right now, it'd be a number 1 and a 2 seed if we get to that point. Well, That one is up near us.
That was a souvenir that nearly bounced all the way up here. But, yeah, a lot of fans checking in during the intermission. Mary Bergavet checked in, and Hockey Guy in Minnesota's checked in. All sorts of fans watching different ways. Mike checked in. Like Carl is also watching tonight on Flow Hockey TV.
Do you sound better on Flow Hockey or Maverick Hockey Weekend?
I think it's probably 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
It's hard to, really grade out what perfection is, Dan.
Tell you what, we're hearing from a lot of people that they're liking what they hear from the two of us on Maverick Hockey Weekend, and we're appreciative.
Well, we had a nice exchange of some dialogue with the Carrolls. Andy Carroll's mom and dad stopped by, and of course, being in Northfield, they typically can get to every game pretty easily, roughly an hour away. But, we're forced to watch us on Flow Hockey TV for a couple of months, and Maverick Hockey Weekend again here in the state of Minnesota. Much better to have them in the building. Dan, does this kind of resemble pretty much your maximum fan base, 150?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Hiroshi, still Mavericks on the power play for a few more seconds. Smith looking for an angle. Now Lutz plays one down low, and that's high. Doherty is out of the box. So both teams 0 for 1 so far with their first chances with the power play tonight, as Livingstone has to come back. Livingstone all the way behind the net trying to feed Durer up front. That one will be played back to the point, and the Mavericks are going to have to scramble back to even up the numbers. Smolik behind the net. Craig's along the board. That was actually Doherty. Quick shot taken by Gold, arm aside. Brendan Furry tapped out of the zone. Durer will catch up to a bouncing puck. Looking for an angle, but lost an edge, and doing so as Justin Wells was there. Durer back in the corner. Doherty gets one past Ammett. Doherty with a shot, armed out by Dryden McKay. Durer sidesteps a check. Trying to feed a pass over for McNeely. Through some traffic, the Mavericks will hold possession. Durer taps it into the zone. Coyle is back for the Falcons. Coyle behind the net. Played out into the slot, but the Mavericks are there defensively. Jaremko will just tap it into the zone. He's after it along with Coyle. Burgess now steps into the play for the Mavericks. Far side played by Barber, but Carroll will hold and put in a shot. Barber again with it, and this time Falcons will bring it out. Schneider near side for Cruz. Cruz trying to feed one down low, intended for Barber, but that pass failed to connect.
It's a smart little pass, it just didn't work.
Lloyd will carry it into the zone. Tied up by Morton on the play. Through the top of the crease, Carroll catches up to it, taps it out. Here come the Mavericks, a little bit of a break. Gerads, but by the time he caught up to the puck, he and Morton had run out of real estate. Cruz clears. Smolik is back, and the Mavericks turn it right around. Dallas Gerads has to just kick it into the zone because he had actually lost a stick on the play. Ford taps one off the glass for Wright. Dryden McKay played out in the slot there, and that one got redirected out in front, and McKay has to make a nice save. Now again out in front, and that pass to Wright could not be handled. Theo Cherdis. Livingstone. Smolik ahead for Sandlin. Sandlin taps it in. Here comes Napravnik. He and Cullen. Sandlin again trying to find a way to get a pass up through the slot to Smith, and it's turned around by the Falcons. They're back in the zone. That shot got redirected in a quick save on a block by McKay. Ahead for Napravnik. Dan, we're pretty much mirroring the same period here in the second as we've seen end-to-end action. And
no whistles and up and down action, a lot of fun. Both teams really enjoyable to watch. The Mavericks have had a couple games on the home ice this year that even though the score didn't get out of hand, seemed like they were out of hand. A 4-0 game they had seemed like it was 8. This seems like a really close hockey game, and it is, and that's what you're looking for this time of year. Play someone that can give you some good competition. I think both teams are getting what they want right now.
Falcons in center ice fight and just taps it into the zone where Hirose is back. Akito Hirose sidesteps one check. Now Lutz. Down low, and he had Borchard breaking in on the play, and then Borchard and Smith kind of get tied up, both going out in front of the crease. Dougherty and Hirose. Johnson steps into the play for the Falcons. Up on top, Musser. His shot was blocked. And now back at center ice, Gold will just gather up possession. Carroll for the Mavericks will lift it one into the zone. Musser comes back to quickly turn things around for Gold. Right off the bench, Dewar steps into that pass, carries it into the corner. Dewar having to work off around that stick that was left out there by Dallas Gerads over 2 minutes ago. We haven't had a break since. Furry one more time with it, has to wait for a line mate to clear. That was Spooner. Now Johnson. 6 minutes gone here in the second, and that one's tapped out of play. We'll take, we think, a break. Well, they're going to keep it here. We're not quite sure. No, they're going to bring it out, clear the ice, so we'll take the break as well. No scoring near the halfway point of tonight's contest. It's a hockey night here on a Maverick Hockey Weekend. Back at the center circle with 13:50 left to go in the second. No score for Mankato. That's a quick icing call.
Neil Dewar has checked in. Ben Nelson, Hockey Guy Minnesota. All sorts of fans watching our broadcast this evening on Flow Hockey TV and on Charter on Maverick Hockey Weekend. There you get a look at Mike Hastings.
If you're having a good time tonight, we're back tomorrow night. An hour earlier, 6:07 is the face-off for Mankato to finish out a Maverick Hockey Weekend. And then we're off for a couple weeks. And then, Dan, you and I, toward the end of February into March, might get real familiar with one another.
That's the hope anyway.
Another icing call here. The Mavericks will end the regular season with a home and home series with Bemidji State. We're here on Thursday, February 25th. But then we have the makeup series the first weekend of March with Tech, and then a couple weekends of playoffs at least. And again, we hope to be here. The Mavericks could go a long way into securing home ice with some points this weekend, as Dan mentioned back in the first. These two teams, 1 and 2 in the conference. Mavericks 2 points ahead of the Falcons in the WCHA standings. Only two teams with double-digit points in the conference. Gerads up on top. Played off a body into the near side. Gerads will track it down.
Just makes winning this game tonight so important for both clubs.
Gerads still finding a way to hold the zone. Livingstone will force it in the corner, but lifted out to center ice by Schneider.
Mavericks win tonight. They're guaranteed of leading coming out of the weekend. Bowling Green wins tonight. They'll take over first place going into tomorrow night.
Played ahead for Morton. That shot kicked out of there by Dopp, right out onto the crease area. That was a great play by Dopp to follow that rebound, knowing it, because if that would have dropped, it'd been literally on top of the crease.
Came out of the, off the glass up high, and he just gloved it as he was facing his own net. Fun night of hockey, Don. Just good to see two teams that can skate, are very physical. They've got people who can handle the puck. They play great defense. They've got good goaltending. Everything you'd want in a top 10 matchup, and that's what you've got here.
Other action in the conference tonight as Bemidji State at Ferris and Michigan Tech at Alabama Huntsville.
Bemidji State was up 2-1 last I saw, but that was quite a while ago.
Livingstone turns one around and it's brought into the zone. Now played out at center ice where Ford has it for the Falcons. Ford back into the zone. That shot gets blocked. Comes off the board, and Ford gets his own rebound to the point up on top. Wells. That one got redirected, and somehow a quick pounce with the glove to trap it on the ice is Micaiah Smith. Was tied up with one. That might have been Ford down low.
Yeah, Connor Ford was right there. Ford has got 10 goals and 11 assists on the season for 21 points. And he was right there.
We talked about the Mavericks with Hobie Baker, early nominations. Well, Connor Ford has one of those as well, along with Cruz and Will Cullen. And the Mavericks are going to go back as Lutz is in the box one more time. I think if we saw that replay kind of continue forward, something after the whistle, and they caught Lutz, and I know Craig's seemed to be favoring an arm coming out of that discussion.
I did not see the call here. Wouldn't be surprised if it's an unsportsmanlike conduct type penalty.
Well, the Mavericks back on a penalty kill for the second time tonight. Lutz back in the box for the second time. 7:34. If you're keeping track at home, here's the time of that call. We mentioned the numbers for the Mavericks. Power play this season for Bowling Green, 23rd in the country, 18 goals on 84 opportunities, 21.4%. The Mavericks 8th best in the penalty kill, right around 88%. And an elongated discussion going on here. We'll see if we can't pick anything up there, as that was, you saw Ford get dropped and then Craigs get wrapped up on the play.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Reggie Lutz got called for there. There was a scrum. Ty Eigner wants to know what's happening.
Yeah,
understandably.
Each coach right now with a referee and a linesman at their beck and call, getting a description of what transpired.
A lot of discussion with the officials.
See it one more time from the overhead screen. That was the initial save, and again, McKay pounces on it.
They're going to take a look at
down.
this.
And Lutz, unless the penalty occurred at the base of the screen as Ford came into the play, you saw him hit the ice. And they're going to take another look at this.
I mean, Reese Molick might have got away with an elbow.
I don't think Mike Hastings is real thrilled with what's transpired right now and the length of time this has taken. And
I say I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at here, but if they're trying to see if they got the right guy in the box.
Yeah, well, that was Livingston who had tied up Ford to bring him down. Lutz with, I'm not going to deny there was a tap there, but if you're going to call that, wow, you're going to have lots of guys in the box before the end of the night and the weekend.
Smola kind of rubbed his forearm against the face of one of the players.
And again, they're still talking things over as there you see Ty Eigner. Again, talked about him getting involved here.
They're looking at a slash, very possibly. I don't know if they're just trying to make sure that they've got the right guy in the box or if they're checking to see if it's a more egregious penalty than the 2 minutes.
Eric Dopp getting a breather on the play. We expect to see Zach Rose if the current rotation of goaltenders for the Falcons plays out.
All right, now they're going to discuss it after looking at it. 5 minutes up on the board.
Wow.
And Reggie Lutz is gone.
Wow. Okay, I truly...
So there's obviously contact to the head. Boy, I'm not exactly sure where it happened, but...
That would be one, if we could get further clarification, which I don't know if we will yet tonight. Lutz is gone for the rest of the night, and depending exactly what the call was, Dan, I'm going to tell you, it had to be something more egregious than we were able to see on the replay.
From what I've seen, Mike Hastings said, okay. I mean, there's a point where you just have to be done with it, but this is a huge penalty.
I mean,
and from what we saw, I don't know.
Well, Lutz is gone for the night no matter what. Mike Hastings has at least accepted the decision. And now the Mavericks have to send over a player to serve the 5-minute major, and that's going to be Morton. So obviously near the halfway point of the contest, a 5-minute major.
Yeah, gigantic penalty.
Mavericks with one kill already tonight. The Mavericks unable to clear as Borchard lost an edge as he was attempting to clear it. It's a spearing. Okay. Theo Charitis, Cullen threw a shot. That one is blocked out in front. Cruz down low, played to the far side, and that was partially fanned on as Cullen was breaking in from the point. And it was a bouncing puck by the time he got a shot off. He got enough of it to direct it toward the net, but didn't have a whole lot of mustard behind it, and McKay makes a save. So the spear, it had to have occurred, because that was, again,
see if we'll get a look at it anywhere here.
And that was, okay, that was actually just the play we just saw, so anything related to the penalty. Did quite see it, but again, not to say it didn't happen earlier in the play, but that was, at the end, it was just, let's drop down, and if anything, it was more of a cross check, but nonetheless, he's gone. No need to belabor the point anymore, and Bowling Green's on a 5-minute major, and the Mavericks, that one is going to be cleared into the bench by the Mavericks. Another attempt to get it all the way down.
One of the assistants for Bowling Green about took that one off the noggin.
4:14 left to go. We'll give you the time remaining. We don't have that graphic here, so we'll have to keep track of that and let you know how much time remains in the power play opportunity for Bowling Green. And now,
I'm going to stop play again here to check out something.
Are they going to say that that was cleared intentionally out of play like that? Well, they're looking to determine where they want the face-off. Whether it comes, I don't know if it's maybe tipped out of the zone. Bowling Green now, one of the newer rules is that, again, kind of offensively,
they get to choose which side.
They get to choose where they want the face-off to come from. But maybe they're looking for a tip to see if that went off a Bowling Green stick and it would come out to center ice.
Now, Coach Eigner right away was pointing at the dot to the left of Dryden McKay immediately after the puck came into the bench. So he clearly thought the face-off should be back in the zone, but referee's going to take a look at it. We'll find out. But boy, this game was just cruising along, and it's come to a screeching halt.
I was going to say the same thing. They're going to take it out of the zone. So the Mavericks catch a break there. The face-off in neutral ice. Again, 4:14 remaining in the major, taken by Lutz for spearing that's being served by Morton. Theo Charitis will just drive it into the zone. All the way to the far point. Cullen is there. Near side with Cruz. Bouncing puck now between a few players and lifted down the center ice all the way out by Zmolik.
3:50 to go in the man advantage.
Mavericks will get a couple of fresh penalty killers out there. Leaves Zmolik, McNeely out there now. Borchard and McMahon. Cruz right along the goal line. McMahon will pick it up off the rebound. He'll carry through the neutral ice area, and he'll take it to the corner to take even more time off. Borchard as well. Borchard still in the corner. Now he's ridden off on the play.
Well, it killed about 20 seconds doing that, so that's good work by the Mavericks.
Yeah, they could have just dumped it all the way down the ice and given up possession, but McMahon and Borchard do some good work there and a long major penalty kill. Livingstone sends it into the corner. Spooner is there, and he'll just look to lock it up along the boards. Kicked out.
Well, this is going to end up costing Bowling Green a full minute of time with the Mavericks applying the pressure.
Right, near side. Schneider dumps one in. Far side is Barber catches up to it. Now to the near side. And up on top to the point for Lloyd. Far side, Gould. Gavin Gould down low, right along the goal line. Picked up. Ammett is there, and he'll play one out of play in the Mavericks a second time. This one, the first one, they got lucky because it went off a Bowling Green stick and came out to center ice, and I think it might have happened here yet again.
This one's going to come to the dot.
Ty Eigner wants another one.
Yep.
Back in the zone, but right now they're setting up in front of the Bowling Green bench at center ice.
2:26 to go in the man advantage for Bowling Green. The Falcons leading in shots on goal, 17-12.
Falcons get the face off, and it's driven in. Loose puck. Borchert will at least clear the zone. Lloyd played back for Gould. Gould to the far side where Barber dumps it in. Behind the net, McNeely will try to get there along with Borchert, center ice, and now Jaremko taps it out.
Somebody's going to gain momentum out of this 5 minutes, Don. It might be Bowling Green scoring a goal or two yet. It might be the Mavericks, but somebody will gain some big momentum. If the Mavericks kill off this 5-minute major, it'll be a huge, huge feather in their cap.
Down to 1:40 remaining in the power play opportunity. Brought behind the net on a play by Cullen. Now to the side of the net it goes. Ford played up on top, but he had eluded Theo Chertis, who was going to the far point. And the Mavericks, I mean, they've made some plays here, Dan, but I can't, well, I'll say this. The Falcons' proficiency here on the power play so far in the first 4 minutes hasn't been real stellar either. And now that's going to be the end of it because Livingstone lost a stick, and so we're going to get an interference call, and the Mavericks will end up killing this off, and we'll be 4-4 for a minute 12.
I was going to say maybe the first 45 seconds to a minute, Bowling Green was pretty solid on the power play, but after that, it's been back and forth, and now that's the end of it. Minute 12 to go in the major to Reggie Lutz, but the worst part about that is he's not coming back to the game.
Yeah, and with the even strength now, we're going to come out and clean out the ice, so we'll see if we take that break. Actually, we will, so we'll come back with 4-on-4 hockey for a minute 12. There's no score halfway through the game. An interference call against Max Johnson as coming from behind, knocked the stick out of McMahon's hand, and that caught the attention of the officials. So again, we're 4-on-4 for a minute 12. No score. Shots on goal halfway through the contest. Favors Bowling Green 17-12. But here comes Gerads working to the far side, still with the puck up on top for Hirose. Hirose played down low for Gerads. Gerads now working to the circle. Quick shot. And that one's kicked out here on the near side by Dopp. The Smith was down low providing the screen. 40 seconds left with 4-on-4. Boy, Martin's already up, ready to get back into the action. He's eager.
Well, he's been sitting for 5 minutes for something he didn't do.
Here comes Napravnik with one man back. Theo Chertis is back defensively. Napravnik waiting for Carroll to get into the play, but he gets knocked aside. Still in the zone with Napravnik. Napravnik. Wait for the Mavericks to get some fresh skaters with Smolik. Played down low off the base. And Smith looks for a turnaround off the base. And that one is blocked by Dopp. Cruz is back the other way. Mavericks will pick up puck possession as Morton gets out of the box. Mavericks on a power play for 40 more seconds. Livingstone out in front. There's a weak side. Oh, score!
Nathan Smith with the finish. A great 3-on-2 break, and the Mavericks finish. Smith with his third of the season, his 14th point. He's one of the Hobey Baker finalists for the Mavericks. And he comes up with a big one for Minnesota State at 7:15 to go in the second period of play.
Mavericks convert here on their second power play opportunity. The Mavericks, Dan, are kind of the key started at center ice when Morton got out of the box and got puck possession. The Mavericks with Livingstone brought it in, and there you see Napravnik lets it go through. Smith all alone on the weak side, one times it, and the Mavericks get the first score of the contest.
First time there was any opening in the net on either side, and the Mavericks were able to put it away at 12:45.
Napravnik and Livingstone assisting on that power play tally. And the Mavericks again open up the scoring here. More than half the contest is gone tonight, but the Mavericks on their second power play make it a 1-0 contest. Bouncing puck near side to be brought in, and that's offside.
Really the first mistake Bowling Green had made all night, and the Mavericks made him pay for it. Had a goaltender leaning one way. Puck goes all the way over to the other side. He had no chance. Top had stopped the first 14 shots he faced, but number 15 goes in.
So Smith, again, his third of the year from Livingstone and Napravnik. Napravnik now continues scoring. He's among the leaders in the Mavericks, now tied for the lead actually with 15 points on the season. He and Kate Borchard leading the Mavericks in that statistic. Jaremko played out to center ice. Musser will come back for the Falcons. Smolik plays it away from Cruz. Livingstone's far side. Smolik will carry. Jaremko tried to make a play on it. No icing on the play, however. Long lead pass ahead. Barber gets stood up at the line by Carroll.
Wow, that's a big one.
Carroll gets up, thankfully.
Yep.
The arm's already up, so the Mavericks go back on a power play. Jaremko played into the corner. Wells will get it and touch it, but yeah, thankfully Carroll's okay.
Yeah, Andy Carroll got hit from behind.
And I'm telling you right now, Mike Hastings wants to see 5 on the board after he lost Lutz on a spearing call.
Referees are talking about it right now.
That's Barber.
Well, they don't know if they're going to talk about it or not here, but at first blush, I thought it looked like it was from behind.
Well, again, I know one coach who at least wants them to take a look at it on a replay.
Yep. They are taking a peek at it.
Barber's already in the box.
They are discussing it.
Again, part of it is
I'm sorry, that's from behind.
I'm not going to negate that.
Yeah.
We really didn't see what we thought was the spearing call and how egregious that would have been.
But this one, I mean, he can see the number on Carroll's jersey. He could see what would be the stop sign. There's 5 up on the board.
Yep, so Barber's going to go. And thankfully, Carroll is okay. He bounced up pretty quickly from that hit, but Barber's gone for the night, and the Mavericks will get their opportunity now. Having just scored a power play goal, they'll go on a 5-minute major power play.
5 minutes checking from behind. I mean, it looked like it in regular speed and looked like it in when they went to slow-mo, and the officials saw what we saw. Like you say, though, the most important thing is that Andy Carroll got up and he's all right.
14-18, Barber's gone for the night.
Here's a chance for the Mavericks to break this thing wide open. They can score a goal or 2 during this 5-minute stretch. It's their hockey game to lose. Chris Collin will go to the box.
So Collin, in that box for the 5 minutes. So the Mavericks on the power play for the 3rd time tonight get the draw. Hirose, Morton tries to play one to Borchard, but it's swept down the ice.
Game misconduct for checking from behind. Serving the penalty is number 8, Chris Collin.
Napravnik on the far corner now with Smith. Near side for Borchard. Rink wide is the pass with Morton. Trying to feed one for Napravnik, breaking in down low. Napravnik kind of held up on the play, and it swept down the ice by the Falcons.
Musser did a nice job of blocking that pass with a stick. Otherwise, the Mavericks had a clean shot at the goalie one-on-one.
Hirose near side for Borchard. Into the corner. Coyle and Hirose tied up. Now 6 players in on the scrum. Coyle just taking some time as he's got the puck trapped along the boards. Now back to the point. Smith, far side, but his pass errant, intended for Napravnik, and it's sent all the way down.
3:50 to go in the man advantage for the Mavericks.
Smith will bring it into the zone. Gets past a couple of guys, but lost the puck in doing so. Tapped, but right onto the stick of Musser, who sends it down. And the Mavericks, kind of mirroring what the Falcons did with their 5-minute major. Mavericks haven't even held possession in the zone yet.
Minute and a half gone now.
Carroll over for Jaremko. Gerads in the corner. Mavericks will try to get set up. Livingstone. Jaremko, and that's played out. And the Mavericks just not a real strong start here to the 5-minute major.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the man advantage.
Jaremko played into the corner. Musser's down low. Now it's picked up by Lloyd. Played to the near side, Johnson. He'll be able to get it past Carroll, and Carroll is going to have to win a race along with Cruz. Mavericks now maybe with some numbers quick as Jarads will carry it into the zone. Played to the far side. Spooner with a quick shot. Rebound right up the slot. Not there. And it's played back to Dopp. He covers up.
I think that might have come off a Dopp's shield and went down, and he got a cover.
First shot on goal there for the Mavericks with 2:41 left to go in the 5-minute major. Again, Barber's gone with the checking from behind. And early in the period, the Mavericks lost Lutz on a 5-minute major for spearing.
Shots are 18-16 in favor of the Falcons. Mavericks lost to Bemidji State last weekend, 4-1. They allowed 10 shots on goal in the game, and they've got 18 already here in the second period. But the difference is the Mavericks haven't given up a goal this weekend.
Ford's able to get one past Hirose. McNeely left off for Hirose. Borchert gets past Ford into the corner. Played to the far side. Spooner will let it go back to McNeely. Now Spooner. Spooner again looking for the shot. The rebound caroms off to the weak side, but behind the net, so Borchert really didn't have a play on it. Hirose puts one off a stick up into the net for a face-off that'll stay in the Maverick offensive zone. 1:56 left on the power play.
We talked about Mavericks getting some momentum after the 5-minute kill. Well, Bowling Green could do the same thing here if they can kill off the next minute 56 and get into the locker room down only 1-0, but still plenty of time for the Mavericks to get one or maybe a couple.
Well, a big goal, though, here, really late in the. It's the momentum either way for a team taking it into intermission in a tight contest.
Yeah, but this would be a killer if the Mavericks could get one here in the final 2:38, minute 56 of the man advantage.
Another draw won by the Falcons. Smolik is able to hold in at the point along the boards. Jaremko into the corner. Mavericks will play it back. Livingstone will track it down. Livingstone. Smolik. Boy, wouldn't you like to see Lutz out there right now in the power play with that weak side blast. Smolik again down low. Jaremko and the Mavericks. Pretty contentious playing on the perimeter of this power play. Haven't done anything in the slot down low. And there's a score!
Snapped off by Reese Smolik. Not sure if it's deflected or not. But the Mavericks with a power play goal, still a minute 18 to go in the man advantage. Now it's 2-0.
Smolik makes me eat my words.
Yeah.
They were just waiting long enough and finally found a way to get through the slot with some traffic out in front. Smolik right now getting credit for that goal.
I think Jarads is going to get the goal, though. He was the first hand through. So Dallas Jarads must have tipped it. He was the first handshake, so I'm assuming Dallas Jarads will get the deflection on Smolik's shot.
Take another look at it as Smolik will tee one up. And yeah, Jarads was down low, and Jarads pretty pleased with his effort there. And Jarads with credit for the goal. That would be his 5th of the season. Right at 18 minutes. And Falcons clear with still a minute remaining in power play.
Plenty of time to get one more.
Jarads from Livingstone and Smolik. Livingstone with assists in both power play goals here in the second. Furry left off now for Spooner. McNeely. Another shot down low and the bounces along the goal line wide of Smolik. Spooner's there to pick it up for the Mavericks. 35 seconds left in the power play. Mavericks already converting once here with the 5-minute major. Hirose steps in to try to hold the zone. Spooner. Carried out now. Cruz will bring it out for the Falcons. Just dump it down. 1 minute left to go in the period as the Mavericks will set up and try to gain the zone with the man advantage. Still 10 seconds left as Napravnik has it. Napravnik in the corner. Back at top Smolik. Falcons are back at full strength as Collins out of the box. Napravnik being worked over by Will Cullen behind the net. Napravnik still with it. Tapped away. Now here's going to be a chance the other way. Cullen, if he catches up, and Zmolik gets back as well to help out. So a nice job defensively by Zmolik to help out. McKay had come out, thought about playing it, but retreated and cut down the angle that Cullen might have had a chance to look at as well.
Boy, the captain with one of the biggest plays of the night right there.
Theo Cheritis trying to work past Jaremko up on top for Wells. Again, we're at 5-on-5 hockey. Kicked out of there as Napravnik lost a stick but was able to help clear out, and it's dumped in as the horn blows, bringing us to the end of the second period of the play. Mavericks with a couple of power play goals there in the second half of the period. Smith got his third from Livingstone and Napravnik at 12:45. And then at an 18-minute mark with just 2 minutes left, Dallas Gerads got his fifth of the season from Zmolik and Livingstone. And after 2 periods of play, our score in Mankato, it's the Mavericks 2 and the Falcons nothing. With a reminder, you are watching Minnesota State hockey here on a Maverick Hockey Weekend and Flow Hockey TV. And Dan McCarger, glad to bring you the action tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night as well. We'll see if the Mavericks can hold on to this one and look to build on that. Again, coming in 2 points ahead of Bowling Green in the standings. And on top 2-0 here tonight. Dan, you got some highlights for us.
Nathan Smith starts the scoring at 12:45 of the second period on the power play from Jake Livingstone and Julian Napravnik. Smith's third of the season, Livingstone's second, and Napravnik's eighth of the year. 1-0 Mavericks at 12:45. Then at 18 minutes, it's Dallas Gerads from Reese Molik and Jake Livingstone. Molik with the shot and Gerads with the deflection, and the power play goal makes it 2-0 Mavericks after 2 periods of play, and that's where we stand on.
Both teams with 19 shots on goal after the 2 periods of play. And obviously the power play opportunities, the Mavericks took advantage. Both teams have lost a player, key player offensively on their respective clubs here tonight after the first 2 periods. Mavericks there in the second lost Lutz early on a 5-minute major and a spearing call, and then Alex Barber went at the end of the second period on a checking from behind in the boards, and his service is gone. And along the lines there, again, both players among the conference leaders as far as shots on goal. Mavericks, however, made the Falcons pay with 1 goal in their 5-minute power play opportunity. The Falcons obviously scoreless, down 2-0 here. Both, again, Maverick power plays. As Dan mentioned, are both goals coming by way of the power play. So the Mavericks, moving into the third, are 2 for 3 tonight with the men advantage, while Bowling Green 0 for 2. And those power play tallies, the big difference. One of the keys Mike Hastings told us about before the contest would be the power play opportunities, with both teams pretty good offensively. In fact, one of the things that he said his team needs to do a better job of is just even strength 5-on-5 scoring. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll take the 2 power play goals he got back in the second.
Said score first, win the special teams battle, and they've done that so far, and they're up 2-0 with 19:51 to go in this one. With the goaltender you've got, the defense you've got, sitting up 2 goals seems like a large mountain to climb for anybody, but this Bowling Green team is more than capable of getting back into it.
Bowling Green, as we mentioned back in the first intermission, literally in every offensive category leading the country. Of course, they've also come in, and not to, I guess, downplay the point, they've played 20 games coming in. The Mavericks had only played, of course, as we mentioned, 12 coming into the season, or on the season, but Mavericks again with that 2-0 lead. Long lead pass ahead. Borchard dumps one in. Gerads puts a quick shot on and then tapped into the corners. Gerads' shot was blocked. Lloyd behind the net. Musser ahead for Craigs. Left off by Ford. He carries it in on a backhand, puts one on net a couple times as he got his own rebound, but by the time he got there, Dryden McKay had cut down the angle severely, really didn't have much to look at, and McKay just covers up on that second shot.
He's just so smooth. I mean, he just gives up nothing. As you mentioned, he came out, cut off the angle, then just slid along with the players, took them all the way past the goal line.
In the building with about 100 and so friends of Dan McCarger, and both you and I and Coach Hastings, one of the first comments we made in our discussion before the game, Dan, if this game could have been played in front of a packed house, the atmosphere would have been exactly what we would expect, what these two teams deserve, but nonetheless, we're here, and fans enjoying up to this point as it's played wide off a skate out in front to the near side.
Well, there's every reason to believe that this would have been a sellout weekend with fans coming from Bowling Green and obviously Maverick fans. This place would have been loud both nights.
Gerard's along the boards, being tied up there by Schneider. TJ Lloyd off the boards, be able to clear with Craigs. Mavericks will turn it around with Ammett. Here comes McMahon. He's got a trailer, and Burgess puts on the quick shot and Dopp. Not sure where it went. It was in the glove or might have snuck down behind the blocker pad, but he'll take the save and a face-off in the zone.
This next goal's enormous, obviously. If there is a next goal, Mavericks get it. This game's over 3-0. They're not going to give up that lead. Bowling Green cuts it to a one-goal game, and his final 18 minutes could be very exciting.
You know, that 2-0 score, however, Dan, we've seen that before in this building just a couple years ago. Flip side, and things can happen quick.
Yep, no question.
It was a 2-0 score that Bowling Green had late in the championship game a few years ago. Even Coach Hastings still calls it the Mankato Miracle.
Well, talk about a loud building that night.
Couple of goals. Connor Mackey got one to equalize it, and then Rivera in overtime gave the Mavericks the conference playoff championship. Morton, Sandlin, along with Wells. Schneider steps in for Bowling Green.
Really good shift here.
Schneider still with it. Chipped out of the zone all the way down. We'll see if we get an icing call. Yep, they do call it. You know, that game's still so fondly remembered. I distinctly remember.
By Maverick fans.
I distinctly remember because that was the same night, Dan, if you remember, that Bowling Green about halfway through the third found out that a win or a decision had come which gave them a spot in the national tournament because we were following, you know, everything as far as the pairwise rankings and stuff, and they felt good. We even detected a smile on the bench from the coaching staff, and of course they were ahead 2-0 at that time as well. Well, they still got in the national tournament, but the trophy eluded them that evening. Furry dumps it in. Played a little bit too far ahead there for Spooner, but Dewar comes back, still down low, and then Furry with a shot that went just wide. Furry to the point past McNeely. The Mavericks had to clear the zone. Played out at center ice, and I think it actually was, played in the zone, and now we get the whistle on an offside call.
Shots are 20 apiece. The Mavericks trailed throughout most of the game. They've finally been able to work the tide up, but more importantly, they're up 2-0 on the scoreboard, where it really matters. Should be a whale of a rematch tomorrow night, no matter which way these final 17 minutes or 16 minutes go.
We had mentioned the Mavericks after tomorrow night back later in the month on a Thursday night, first of a home-and-home series with Bemidji State. If you're wanting the Mavericks the next 2 weekends, at Alabama Huntsville and at Ferris State. And Ferris State, we here picked up some points tonight over Bemidji.
Yeah, it was a 3-3 overtime tie. They got the extra point in the shootout, scoring the lone goal in the shootout.
Getting set up for the face-off. Maverick defensive zone, glove side of Dryden McKay. Off the draw in the slot, still sitting there. That'll be picked up by Smith, who brings it out. Borchard dumps it in the corner. Theo Cherdes is back. Borchard plays it behind the net. Napravnik for the Mavericks to the point with Ammett. Fans on his attempt, and then it's just chipped ahead by McNeely to nullify what could have been an odd man rush for Bowling Green. Ammett spins away from a couple of defenders. McNeely dumps it in. Jaremko and Jarads for the Mavericks in the quarter, fighting for puck possession. Ammett puts one down low that's armed out. Cameron Wright spins away from Burgess. Here's an opportunity down low for Dallas. Jarads backhand stuffed it in. No, it's still kicked out of there. Great play by Dopp to keep the team in as Jarads out of midair is able to pick up that clearing attempt and create a golden opportunity.
Oh, it was 2-on-none too. Wow.
Jarads gets dropped by Ford on the play. To the near side, Smolik. Ford still in there, takes it away, played back to the point. Lloyd, far side. Musser. That shot gets blocked by Jarads, who's back up after taking the heavy hit. And now Livingstone will just clear it out. Burgess sends it down, but no icing. Long lead pass for Cruz is tipped in. Carroll, far side Sandlin. The Mavericks quickly trying to turn it into something the other way. Sandlin with the pass. Played down low, Hirose. It's picked up now by McMahon. Hirose one more time, feathers one wide. Schreiber, played to the point, Carroll holds, and they're going to say whistle down, and we get a roughing call. Looks like the penalty coming up against the Mavericks and a Bowling Green power play when we come back.
Fans, it's now time for the Eide Bailly 10-Key Challenge. We have Jarrett to my left and Byron to my right, and they're going to race to compute the given equation to see who can do it the fastest and closest to the correct answer. Whoever is the closest will be the night's winner, and they will go home with a prize courtesy of Eide Bailly. Fellas, let's go. Jarrett off to a quick lead here. Jarrett entering his final numbers. The answer is 20. Congratulations, Byron. You are tonight's winner. You'll go home with this great prize from Eide Bailly. Don't guess when it comes to your business or finances. Make confident decisions with Eide Bailly.
Mike Hastings and the Mavericks up 2-0, but they're going to have to kill off a power play opportunity here for the Falcons as Sandlin goes on a roughing call at 5:37. Bowling Green unable to score in their first two opportunities for the evening. Schneider played down low for Gold right along the goal line, tries to play it out in front. It actually went off the stick of McKay, carried him to the weak side. Schneider up on top for Lloyd. Lloyd, and that's going to be a one-time, and boy, that's a heavy hit there on that shot taken by Spooner. He's still stung, but a great play, and his team responds on the bench. Played along the boards to the near side, out on front there, trying to feed the crease with Schneider, and Dryden McKay very alertly blocked that centering attempt and covers up.
One thing that we noticed with the lack of fans is what we can hear from the benches and how much the players respond when a teammate blocks a shot. Wyatt Amat to the last home series, blocking one with his face, and there, as we mentioned, Jared Spooner with a big block.
Johnson and McMahon in for the draw that the Falcons win with Cullen at the point. Theo Charitis on the far side. Cruz behind the net gets a return feed from Johnson. Cullen here on the near side will play it out in the slot area and played right back to him by Ford. Cullen, far point for Cruz. Down low, and then Johnson trying to play one back to a forehand side, lost puck possession. Borchard almost able to knock that opportunity on the far side to the point, however, Theo Charitis and now Cullen. Cullen, another block by Livingstone. Here's Theo Charitis to the far side. That's off the skate of Cruz and right at the line. Falcons are able to hold, played behind the net. Livingstone will try to clear the puck, but Cullen holds it in at the zone, and then it's played out of the zone by Borchard. So the Mavericks pretty active on the kill, blocking a few shots and able to take off the first minute 40. We're down to just 12 seconds left in the power play opportunity, and the Mavericks clearing a good penalty kill there by Minnesota State.
Well, Mike Hastings has told us many times, he said after a victory there's more ice bags than after a loss, and you can see why blocking shots is a big part of it.
That one took a weird carom off at corner of the glass and right out into the slot area. The Mavericks have to clear it. So Falcons 0 for 3. The Mavericks 2 for 3 with the man advantage tonight, and that obviously the difference in the contest. Scardina with the shot that's kicked out by McKay. Along the boards, Napravnik and now Gerads able to bring it out to center ice. Smith takes it away from Fighton. Smith trying to work one down to Napravnik with a really good look and a great play by Smith to create that opportunity. Napravnik again and Smith down low along with Gerads. Kicked away from a couple of players. Now Lloyd. Lloyd ahead for Seth Fighton, gets past everybody. Hirose has to come back and make a play. Hirose with some speed will move it into the zone. Behind the net, still with it up on top. Carroll played it right back down before Wright could get there for a check. Walker Duehr out in front. Score!
Walker Duehr from behind the goal line out to about the dot, and he snaps it home. 3-0 Mavericks.
Walker Duehr, his third of the season. That is a big one for the Mavericks to give themselves a 3-goal cushion. And all started with Hirose going to end, bringing it into the zone, and the Mavericks create an opportunity.
Yeah, just above the dot, and he beat Dopp to the right. And it's a 3-0 Maverick lead. And that's probably all she wrote for the Falcons tonight. Dryden McKay has faced 22 shots, has not allowed a goal so far tonight.
All important goal there for the Mavericks by Duehr. 8:48 the time of the goal. Spooner with a quick shot. Follow-up is out in front once again. Hirose and Carroll on the assist of that goal. Here comes Wright the other way. Quick shot, and Dryden McKay has that save. Follow-up, and that one is sent just wide. Couple of good chances quickly there for the Falcons to try to get on the board, get some momentum, but now Spooner will track it down and dump it into the corner. Furry behind the net, over for Burgess. Dallas Gerads steps into the play. Gerads behind the net. Knocked off the puck by Cullen. McNeely holds temporarily, but now will be brought out by Cullen. Cullen trying to work through a couple of defensive players for the Mavericks and a long lead pass. That'll be an icing call against Minnesota State with 10:08 left to go in the third, a period which they've now extended that lead to 3. Again, Duehr just scoring a few moments ago from Hirose and Carroll.
They relied on a lot of work by Hirose. Then Duehr from behind the net brings it out, snaps one off to the right of the goaltender, Eric Dopp, and it's 3-0 Mavericks. A lot of hockey left on, but boy, this Bowling Green team has got a lot of work to do to get back into it now.
Off the draw, Cruz will get there. Tries to turn around, a quick shot right as it went to the face-off circle. That one taken by Schneider, still in the zone, and then it gets past Cruz. Look for the Falcons to really make a big push here in the next couple minutes to try to get on the board and cut into this lead to make it interesting toward the final 5 minutes. McNeely is off the glass, out to center ice. Daly will turn it around, but poked away by Burgess. TJ Lloyd off a body, gets this play one more time, and it's just sent out of the zone through the top of the slot to clear.
Really important for the Mavericks, just stay out of the box now.
Cullen carries it in, poked away by Morton. Cruz trying to work past Morton, gets dropped out in front, bouncing puck, and the Mavericks with McNeely will carry. Not clear, however, but Sandlin finally does. Bodies flying all over here the last minute of the game, and now Morton will carry it in for the Mavericks, works past Cullen. McMahon out in front. It'll go all the way between a couple of defensemen. Carroll will come back for the Mavericks with now 8:50 left in the contest.
Sam Morton could have been called for a hold on the referee there. He got all tangled up with him.
Dumped into the zone. Collin is after it along with Carroll. Carroll will come back one more time, played for Ammett. Played out to center ice. Napravnik trying to work past Coyle and does. Napravnik down low on his backhand. First shot, Dot makes that save. Good look by Napravnik. Here comes Smolik in the slot between the circles, down low, still with it. Score!
Wow. They let Reese Smolik walk all the way in.
Yeah, he picked it up at the point right in front of the Falcons bench, brought it to the center of the ice, right down the slot. No one picked him up, and he got it pretty deep, and a really good look on Dopp. And it's a 4-0 Maverick lead.
4-0 at 11:51.
Little traffic out in front, and Smolik
somebody could have got a body on him somewhere along the way, but Smolik just went all the way in. Reminds me of a goal the Wild gave up to lose in overtime. Dean Evenson said, you know, we could have hit him rather than watch him.
Smolik, his first of the season. And the Mavericks have just exploded with a couple of quick goals to give themselves a nice 4-0 cushion. Ammett and Napravnik on the assists. So Napravnik with 2 points tonight on a couple of assists. Livingstone as well. And Smolik 2 points on a goal and an assist for the evening. Duer takes the big hit, lost the puck as he is Gould collide at center ice. McKay with the kick save out into the corner. And along the boards, Musser will turn on around, but Erosi will pick up the play. Ahead for Spooner, and he'll just dump it into the zone. Ian Cullen after it. Actually under the body of Spooner when he got up. Falcons able to play it with Musser. Near side. Falcons trying to dump it in, but it's kicked back out to center ice. Cullen has it for Bowling Green. Wells will dump it into the zone. Inside 7 minutes remaining. Ford trying to feed one back for Wright, but stood up. Craigs, low angle shot. That one is blocked to the far side. Wells thinks about it and is played behind the net. Ammett drops right on the play. Fans would like to see a
cross check.
If you're in the building wearing the maroon and orange.
I don't think they're wrong.
Sandlin back in behind the net for Wells. Mavericks pretty content seeing the puck on that side of the ice. Now a race for the puck. Daly along with Carroll. Daly's shot went well wide. Cruz on the far side. Plays it behind the net for Schneider. Theo Chertis. Schneider with Morton there to see him. Brought out in front and save made by McKay, although we're going to get a penalty coming up. And we'll come back with a power play opportunity here late. Bowling Green looking to get back into the contest. Mavericks on top, 4-0. Sam Morton in the box for the Mavericks. And so a late opportunity for the Falcons to try to get a goal tonight, cut into this lead and get some momentum. Holding is officially going to be the call against Morton. Fourth power play opportunity of the night for Bowling Green. Cullen still has it. Now for Ford. Played back to the point. Theo Chertis sends one and now up on top for Cruz. Cruz trying to work past Borchett near side, and a great save there by Cullen. Cullen shot and Dryden McKay was right there, and he played that one perfectly. Cullen one more time. Then it's trying to find a way to get it into the slot area for Ford, but it's tipped away by the Mavericks.
Huge save by Dryden McKay, his 28th of the game. Needless to say, one of the better nights for Dryden McKay this season.
Inside 5 minutes now left to go here in the contest with 1:05 left to go on the power play. Theo Chertis, and it's taken into the zone by Schneider. To the point, and it's going to come all the way out of the zone. Lloyd has to come back. Played ahead. Ammett will turn one around. Lloyd for Sam Craigs. Into the far corner for Wright. And then nobody at the point for the Falcons, and it comes all the way out of the zone. 30 seconds left in the power play. Schneider one more time. Brings it back. Hiroshi unable to clear. Lloyd tees up a blast. It's wide, and that one's going to come all the way out of the zone one more time. Sam Morton's up on his skates and has 5 seconds left before he can get back on the ice. Tapped away, and here come the Mavericks with Napravnik. Napravnik dumps in the Mavericks, a perfect 0 for 4, and it's been a night of specialty units here tonight for the Mavericks. Perfect on the penalty kill, and the first 2 goals of the game came with the man advantage. It's now a 4-0 game as the Mavericks with Dallas Gerads. Carson Musser near side for Coyle. Long lead pass ahead, dumped in. Along the boards, fighting. Forced to the far side, Chris Collin is there, poked away from him, and here comes Dallas Gerads. Be a race for the puck, and this will be an icing call, and not a great decision there by Gerads. Probably could have carried it at least to the red line before he dumped it down.
I think he's arguing that he did, but he didn't. It was right in front of me.
Well, that, or he might have said, you know, I got blocked and interfered with on the way to the puck.
Either way, the faceoff is going to be to the left of the goaltender, Dryden McKay. With 3:06 to go, now shots in favor of the Mavericks at 29-28. Mike Hastings coming up on the post-game show. And Monday morning on the KTOE Morning Blend at 9:10. Snuck that one in.
Very nice. Along the boards. And Carroll was able to clear, and then Gerads finally this time does dump it in over the line. Gould for the Falcons. Trying to work past McMahon, puts it into the corner. Now McMahon does a nice job to step into the play and poke it away. Cullen along the boards. Livingstone. Gould tied up in the corner. Near side, Furry will pick it up for the Mavericks and carry to center ice. That one is not going to be nice. And here comes Duer as it came right out from behind the net. And I think Dopp was looking for the icing call, didn't realize Duer was going to win the race to the puck. To the point, Ammett sends one down low. Furry wraparound attempt, comes up on top. And Doherty will carry the other way for Bowling Green. Carroll is back for Minnesota State. Off the glass, Cruz will hold. Carroll gets it one more time. Cruz looking for a player breaking down. Here comes Lloyd. He'll tee up a shot. Rebound is there down low, and Dryden McKay covers up, and a couple really good looks again. And Dryden McKay's been spectacular tonight when called upon, and he's on top now in his Mavericks 4-0 late in the game. Mike Hastings and his club a minute 48 away from further advancing their lead here in the WCHA. They came into the night 2 points ahead of Bowling Green in the standings. The only 2 teams in double figures with points coming into the night. This would vault the Mavericks up to a 5-point lead. Carroll off the glass. Lloyd is there to hold, but Carroll will get it one more time. Mavericks will be able to clear now with Spooner. Gets to the red line and dumps it in. Daly is back to the far side for Musser. Daly. Lloyd has his attempt turned around by Jaremko. Schneider on the far side dumps it in. Carroll is there for the Mavericks. A minute 10 left. Carroll played here to the near side for Livingstone. Off the glass. Morton was there to try to clear. It's played out to the top of the line. Here's Swat. Here comes Spooner the other way. Spooner has it pulled away from him by Fighton. Theo Charitis. Few fans on his clearing attempt. Maverick still in the zone. Morton plays it down low. McMahon will force it behind the net in the corner with Coyle. Fighton. Mavericks there to turn it around yet one more time. Fighton dumps it into the zone. It comes wide of the net. 30 seconds left. Ammett. Near side for Dallas Gerads. Takes the hit. Sandlin able to clear for the Mavericks and driven back in by Wells. Ammett forces it behind the net one more time with McNeely still down low. Cullen. That's blocked out in front by Smith. There's 5 seconds left. Ammett is there, played ahead for Gerads. And a big shutout win tonight for the Mavericks. And the numbers continue to pile up for one Dryden McKay. It's a 4-0 win tonight for the Mavericks. And with that shutout, Dryden McKay now tied for second all-time in the WCHA. And actually in the NCAA, 21 shutouts in his career, his 7th of the season. And for a guy, Dan McCarger, that we talked a lot about before the contest, with all the honors he had won, WCHA, Richter Award, Hobie Baker. Another stellar performance tonight by Dryden McKay and his defense. Dryden McKay perfect on all 30 shots that he faced from Bowling Green. And again, the Mavericks get the first of this 2-game series with a 4-0 win tonight. Unofficially right now, shots on goal on the board, 30-29 in favor of the Falcons, but the Mavericks really, it was perfect again with the shots on goal going that way for the Falcons, but all those statistics went the way of the Mavericks. 2 power play goals tonight.
Specialty teams were going to be huge. You were perfect on the kill, 2 power play goals, a 4-0 shutout for your goaltender, and just a perfect night in the nets for the goalie, and a really good game for your club tonight.
It was a good game. You know what, both ways. Bowling Green's a real quality opponent. You know, I mean, we came out in the first period, and I think it was a little bit of poker both ways. I thought both goalies played well early. Our penalty kill bailed us out tonight. I thought we did a real good job of bending but not breaking. And, you know, with us taking the 5-minute major, and you guys have been with me long enough that, you know, if you get one of those killed, momentum can go back on your side. We killed it, and then we ended up scoring a power play goal on ours. So a big win for us tonight, but we're going to have to get reset because that hill get a little steeper tomorrow.
We mentioned that during the broadcast that someone was going to gain momentum, either Bowling Green by scoring on that 5-minute major or the Mavericks by killing it. Ends up you guys kill it, and not very long after you end up with a power play goal. What does that do for a club when you're able to kill? We could hear it from the bench, every block shot, how loud that bench gets. That clearly means something to those teammates when their teammates are giving up their body to try to stop a puck.
Yeah, you know, and your best penalty killer is your goaltender, which he was tonight. But we did have a lot of guys be very selfless, and to me that's a lot of penalty killing. Coach Connaught runs our penalty kill unit, and he's got those guys buying in. They've got a lot of pride in what they're doing, and I thought they did a really good job tonight because they gave us an opportunity to get a lead.
The fans in the stands on our side were loud. It was fun to have some people in the, obviously not the 5,000 we would have liked to have had, but just having some fans here and a lot of interaction on social media, fans saying they're watching the game and enjoying hearing the fans. It means something for a few people to be here, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I talked to Sully a little bit before the game. Every one of these young men on both clubs, because there's some Minnesota guys that are playing for Bowling Green. Ty Einer's families from that area. His mother is an absolute rock star. I know she was in the building You know what? There's just a lot of quality people, but a lot of people from Minnesota that were able to come to the game tonight. And these guys have been having mom and dad schlep them, or grandma and grandpa, or their siblings take them to the rink while they're growing up. And these guys haven't had an opportunity to play in front of their families, and for that to happen tonight, it's just a little bit of normalcy, and you like to see it because we talk about it a lot in our locker room, family first, and we appreciate all the people that came here to watch our guys, and appreciate all the families that came and watched Bowling Green tonight too.
Enjoy the victory for tonight. It's going to be a battle again tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That is Maverick hockey coach Mike Hastings. 4-0, the Mavericks over the Falcons of Bowling Green tonight. We'll take a break and come back. We'll have highlights and out-of-town scores and more on Maverick Hockey Weekend.
Carger back in downtown Mankato one last time here on a Friday night that saw the Mavericks open up this best-of-2 series with a 4-0 win over the second seed right now in the WCHA. Mavericks widen that lead to 5 points in WCHA. Again, 4 goals, a shutout performance tonight. Lots to talk about. Dan, let's get into the highlights.
Begins with a couple of power play goals in the second period. Nathan Smith from Jake Livingstone and Julian Napravnik at 12:45 make it 1-0 Mavericks. Nathan Smith's third of the year. Then Dallas Gerads on the power play from Smolik and Livingstone at 18 minutes makes it 2-0. It's 2-0 after 2 periods of play. Walker Dewar comes from behind the net, and that is the goal number 3 on the night. 8:18 of the third period from Hiroshi and Carroll. And then the final goal of the game, Reese Smolik skates all the way in, and he scores from Julian Napravnik and Wyatt Amat, that is, to make it 4-0 at 11:51. The Mavericks win 4-0. Again, the 7th shutout of the year and 21st of career for our goaltender, Dryden McKay. He is now tied for second all-time, and it was his 7th of the season, tied for second in the WCHA. 10 is the record, and he set that record last year. So pretty good goaltending night again. One of the few nights he's been really tested all night long, 30 shots on goal, and that's a legitimate shutout, Don, no question about it.
You know, we're going to spend a moment or two here at Dryden McKay because these numbers, I go back in collegiate hockey, and you might go back a little bit further, but I was involved with things at the University of Minnesota with a guy named Rob Stauber, who was actually Hobey Baker Award winner that year, and actually this week was named the goaltender of the decade of the 80s in the WCHA. These numbers that Dryden McKay are putting up are
unheard of.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're unheard of. And it's not just Dryden McKay. And many nights he doesn't see a whole lot of shots, and he talks about it being a team effort. But tonight it was a lot of Dryden McKay. He had 30 saves on the night, and his team did a lot of work blocking shots in front of him against a very good club. But no question about it, 21 shutouts, you can't knock that no matter what. And when you face 30 shots and you stop all 30 of them, you've had a good night.
What's the guy, literally, he's now 13 games into his junior. This isn't even his senior year. So he's barely halfway into what a normal junior would be. 21 career shutouts, so he's tied with Michael Bitzer for WCHA. Second all-time in the NCAA behind a guy named Ryan Miller, who's had a pretty stellar career professionally. So right now, Ryan Miller, back about 20 years ago, the only person in front of McKay, Miller with 26 shutouts, and again now McKay and Bitzer tied at 21 in second place. It is phenomenal. It's impressive. And the Mavericks, I mean, they come back tomorrow night, Dan, and they put up another win against this Falcon team. There's still a month left to be played. Mike Casers would tell you there's a lot, but the Mavericks would have to almost collapse to some degree. This is a big, big game tomorrow night for both of these clubs.
Much more so for Bowling Green. Obviously, if they want any chance to win this conference, they have to win tomorrow night, and they know it, and they know that they let it slip away. They had that 5-minute major in a scoreless game with a chance to break out on top. They didn't do so, and then the Mavericks were able to score on the power play and stretch the lead from there. But if Bowling Green wants any chance to win the regular season crown, the McNaughton Cup, it comes down to tomorrow night as far as they're concerned. Otherwise, they're 8 points back and just looking up at the Mavericks for the rest of the year.
An impressive performance tonight for the Mavericks, coming in again ranked 4th in the country in one of the national polls, 6th in the other. They were perfect 4 for 4 on a penalty kill. They scored 2 power play goals themselves. And again, another shutout tonight, the 7th of the season for Dryden McKay. That all equates to a 4-0 shutout win for Minnesota State over Bowling Green. For Dan McCarker, myself, Don Westfall, and the students at Bethany Lutheran College, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's broadcast. We encourage you to come back tomorrow night. Again, 6 o'clock is the abbreviated pregame show. 6:07 to face off from downtown Mankato. Once again, our final score tonight, Minnesota State shutting out Bowling Green by a score of 4-0.